Melanie said that he says the right things, but something was off with him tonight. Maybe Melanie saw the look on his face of how hard he knows it's going to be to try and win her family over, and that he doesn't actually want to try and do that. What's up, everyone? Last night was our second to last episode of this season of Love Island USA, as it is finally coming to an end, and we learned our final four couples making it to the finale. Honestly, not a whole lot to say about last night's episode, because these episodes with these disgusting food challenges, I do not watch those food challenges. I will never watch those food challenges because they're absolutely disgusting. They are worse than any of those gross challenges that you see on Survivor or The Challenge where you gotta eat shit, because it's worse to have to eat shit and then put it in someone else's mouth. Absolutely awful. I don't know why they keep doing that. I thought we were going to escape this season without them doing something gross like that. But no, of course not. They waited till the very end to put people through that. But before that challenge, we did have a little bit with the couples. We had Sincere wanting to be on the same page as Melanie. This, of course, coming after Melanie's family tried to get through to her about Sincere, but she did not listen whatsoever. And instead, she gave another ultimatum. But really, this is just chance number 2,354 that she has given to Sincere this season, or at least that's what it feels like. Sincere is saying that no matter how long it takes, he's going to get on the same page with her. But as usual, I will say I don't believe him. I even think you could see the look on his face during this conversation when Melanie continues to tell him that he's going to have to work not only to get on the same page with her, but with her family. There's a look on Sincere's face being like, it's probably never going to happen, but I'm going to keep saying all this shit that I keep saying, because that's all Sincere seems to be able to do is bullshit. She acted like she wasn't going to hug it out with him after, but they did, of course, hug it out. He's saying he wants her in his life, and he's trying to figure it out. Maybe he'll surprise all of us and figure it out, but I don't see it. He's going to get out of the house, and there's going to be plenty of girls in his DMs from being on the show, and Sincere is as easy as Sunday morning. Melanie talked to Aniya about it, and Melanie said that he says the right things, but something was off with him tonight. Maybe Melanie saw the look on his face of how hard he knows it's going to be to try and win her family over, and that he doesn't actually want to try and do that. Sincere and Bryce talked about it. Sincere said he thought the conversation went good. Bryce was sad for Sincere and Melanie not being able to have bonding moments with their families like everyone else was able to do. But that's Sincere's fault. Aniya told Melanie that she's the main priority, and she wanted to know how Melanie feels about this whole situation. Just Melanie's feelings, disregarding Sincere's feelings. But Melanie didn't really have a concrete answer for that. Dylan had a bad episode here on the way out. He kept being edited every time he would say that he was basically feeling sorry for Sincere. He says, why should Sincere keep putting up with this shit? And how much more does Sincere have to put up with? Like, what exactly is Sincere putting up with other than the bullshit that Sincere caused himself? So Dylan saying all of this was the show saying fuck you to Dylan on the way out, because this was definitely some of the more stupid comments made about another couple this entire season. Because Melanie's the one putting up with all of Sincere's shit. And is she stupid for doing that? Yeah. But like Dylan acting like it's Sincere that has to put up with all this shit, as if he's not the cause of his own fucking problems, really did annoy me. Glad Dylan is gone with all of his fakeness. Carl and Aniya talked about their day with their families. They had a good, emotionally charged day. Aniya talking to Carl about how her family is obsessed with him. Kayda and Zach talked about their families. Kayda told Zach that her mom likes him. I guess Kayda's mom does like him. I feel like her sister was more wary about the whole thing because I don't think we've seen her sister be on social media talking about Zach in the first few weeks and not exactly liking him. But I think both Kayda's mom and sister only like Zach because Kayda likes Zach. I don't know if that's their real opinions. The next day, Zach at least seemed more positive than usual and kind of happy about how family day went. And Kayda did talk about how she needed her mother's reassurance, so that's what she got. And now Kayda's family has helped Kayda be in Zach's arms, who I still think doesn't really like her that much as a person, to be honest. Bryce and Trinity were still on a high from Family Day. You know, everyone was talking about Bryce's grandma, both outside of the show yesterday, we were talking about her, and the Islanders were still talking about her too. She really is great. She should be on a reality show herself. I don't know which one, but put her on something. Kenzie wanted to be exclusive with dumbass fake Dylan by the end of this episode, and again, I don't know what to think with Kenzie and Dylan. Because these last couple episodes, Kenzie has really made it seem like maybe she really does like Dylan. But like, to me, is it that she really likes Dylan because this is her last option and it was her last shot at making it to the end? Or is Dylan, you know, actually her alleged type after she had so many different alleged types this season? I still chalk it up to being fake. I don't know. But Kenzie seemed pretty excited to talk to Dylan's mom when Dylan's mom came. And then she seemed pretty excited to be exclusive with Dylan in this episode. After that, that was our gross food challenge that I didn't watch, so I'm not going to talk about. And then before our final dinner, we had people doing impressions of Kayda, which was pretty fun. I did enjoy Aniya doing an impression of Titi calling Trinity a little girl. That was funny. But yeah, the final 6 couples had dinner. They talked about some of their first moments in the villa, really reflecting on the season. Sincere felt like he could always go to the guys, and even Aniya for all of his ups and downs. Melanie was happy that she could find some girls this season that she could trust. That's when Kayda, however, got a text that America had been voting for 4 couples that they want to see in the finale, and the 2 lowest couples would be dumped. As I said when this vote happened, it was pretty clear that production was putting all of the stress of this vote on KC and Titi stands, because production was sick of KC and Titi stands too because of how much red pill stands are in KC's fan group, as I've been talking about for too many weeks now. I do think that production wanted the core 4 girls to make it to the end, because at the end of the day, this show will always be about the girls. It is a show for the girls, and they want to keep it that way. So in the end, Carl and Aniya make it to the finals. Trinity and Bryce made it to the finals. Melanie and Sincere made it to the finals. Aniya and Trinity were happy for Melanie. That was the most excitement at this table, was Aniya and Trinity very happy that Melanie would be making it to the finals with them. So, you know, much like the core 4 audience, or the core 4 fans that like the core 4, they wanted Melanie to make it to the end, even if it comes with Sincere. I do feel like Aniya and Trinity had that similar thought process. Do I think Melanie and Sincere should be in the final 4? No, not at all. As I've said this week, they have definitely become my least favorite couple left, and yet I feel like they have a chance to score really high in the top 3 on finale night. Kenzie and Dylan were eliminated first. Kenzie took it well. Not many tears. I don't think she cried at all. Kenzie said she feels like she won with Dylan. And again, I'm like, do I believe this? Not really, but I don't know with Kenzie. She's an odd one. I think her elimination is honestly long overdue. KC and Titi were eliminated, and Zach and Kayda are safe. So I'm sure there are a lot of people that somehow buy that KC and Titi are a love story. that are very upset. I'm still in the place of KC making this big show about asking Titi to be his girlfriend, and Titi saying I love you after 2 weeks was just that, a show. But I would like to see them have success on the outside if they're going to give it a real try, because as I've also been saying for the last couple of weeks, these two have fun together. So I really do think that they could make it in a relationship on that. We never really got to see, though, if Casey's communication is better with TT than it was with Aniya. We've never seen them have these real-ass conversations. Their conversations have 90% of the time been about how happy that Casey has TT at his side and that TT fights for him and has earned her place as his girlfriend. But, like, we never really get to see what their communication is on actual serious things. But I would be lying if I was, sad to see their toxic fan base go. Kenzie even gave us one last splits before she left, which was pretty funny. Sincere had tears in his eyes for KC. Says he had nobody at his door in the beginning, but now KC has a girlfriend. Aniya and KC had a sweet goodbye. She said she was happy that he found Titi. He said that she deserves the finals. Good to see them leave on a positive note. I still need to see how KC deals with his red-pilled side of his fan base after the show, because if he's anything like Huda, who just bought into her hype and then had nothing but problems ever since leaving the villa, that's not going to be great for KC. I want better for KC. I hope he is smart with how he moves with social media. Aniya did have good words for TT at the end too, because Aniya is sweet. At the end of the day, I don't know why you all hated on Aniya so much this season. She is actually a good person. I really do feel that. She had sweet words for TT before she left here. She told TT that TT changed KC for the better. So, as usual, as I've been saying all season, Aniya was the bigger person. There's many times during this season that Aniya was the bigger person. Melanie and Kenzie talked about their friendship before, Kenzie left. It was up and down for them, but they're still close. Dylan and Carl had a goodbye too. They became good friends because they're Casa guys, but Dylan really sucked in this episode. Honestly, Carl in the last episode felt a little too sorry for Sincere as well. And that's it. The core four celebrate. This is our final four. We will find out the winners on Sunday night. I think obviously Bryce and Trinity have a good shot at winning. I think there are a lot of Carl and Aniya fans out there. There are a lot of Melanie fans out there too, and I think a lot of KC stans are so upset that they want to vote for Melanie and Sincere to win. So I can definitely see Melanie and Sincere in the top two with the voting. I think it's going to be hard to beat Bryce and Trinity though overall. So I will see you all again after the finale. I might make a video tomorrow like I do my roundups, seeing if there's other fun or hot topics out there with Love Island USA to yap about.